All right, check this out. Check this out, people. So the courts from all over the United States, from California, New York, Chicago, Minnesota, all of the courts that use Zoom. Zoom is not protected no more. The courts have no say-so whatsoever. Check this out. I couldn't believe it until I saw a court case on the internet yesterday where they was doing Zoom with somebody from another state, right? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. How come this is on the internet, you know? And this guy is going through a divorce, but they doing Zoom. So this is the policy of Zoom, and no courts can stop it if they use Zoom. Courts lost all jurisdiction, all rights, privacy rights, and all of that. And it says here, additional under section 10.4 of the update from Zoom, the company Zoom has all rights from privacy rights, consumers' rights, publish, license, anything you use when you use Zoom. Even the courts don't have no jurisdiction no more. They have all rights to every video that is made under Zoom. They control it all. They control it all. They control it all. If you are going through a divorce and you're on Zoom, Zoom owns that. The courts ain't got nothing to say because the courts signed the deal with Zoom. All courts in the United States. The courts can't get a profit off of it or nothing. Zoom can change the speeches on it. They can change the writing on it. They could change whatever they want on it. They could change the background noise. They could do whatever they want on Zoom. Zoom owns this completely, and you wouldn't even believe what country Zoom is in. The Philippines. That's the funny thing about it, the Philippines. Don't blame China. Don't blame Korea. Blame your government. Zoom, if it's ran through the courts, Zoom has control over all of that, not the courts no more. They lost all control of that. You lost your privacy rights, your 14th Amendment of privacy. You lost all of that. Do not do Zoom in courts. I'm telling you, people, do not do Zoom in courts. I was watching this thing, and I'm like, where the hell did this pop up from? You know, it was like a commercial, and then this Zoom case came on about some divorce out in Texas, and they're on Zoom, and everything the wife was saying, and everything the husband was saying, everything the judge was saying, and the DA was all on the internet, everything. And the guy saying, no, I don't drink. I don't know why she keeps lying. And he does drink. And the guy go, I'll take a alcohol test, whatever you want, and it'll come back that I don't drink and blase, blase. I mean, the courts let them put their information, their private information out in the streets. That's bad. That is really bad when the courts let companies to violate your privacy under the 14th Amendment. The courts does it. So I got a court case and they said I got to do Zoom. No, I'm not doing Zoom. I got the constitutional rights. And Zoom is not protected under no laws in the United States because Zoom is not from the United States. They don't got to follow the United States constitutional rights whatsoever. They don't got to follow the privacy rights or anything. So people, stop using Zoom. Stop using Zoom. Stop it. Stop using Facebook and all of that shit, man. Y'all need to stop, man. Wake up, man. Now, I told y'all months ago that everything was going to get worse in the United States. You got every day you turn the news on, you got cops busting into people's houses, no search warrants, no nothing. You got cops stopping African Americans, beating them down, killing them, and everything else. It's pathetic on how these veterans that they also locking up for no reason whatsoever. And the first thing come out of their mouth is they're conducting an investigation. No such thing. No such thing about conducting no investigation because you're filming. You got the right to film. You got the right to record. There's no such thing as trespassing on public property. No such laws whatsoever. And any city council member or mayor or governor puts out there any kind of laws about videotaping or anything, they need to be removed from office because that's your constitutional rights. So they want to play the game. You play the game back. You take all cameras out of courthouses right now. You take all cameras and video recordings that are video recording your kids, because they always use that bullshit. Well, you can't video record kids. Whoa, 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 whoa. Our own government is recording kids. Our own government is letting the malls record kids. You see how stupid society really is? You see how stupid society really is? When you walk out your door, your kids are being recorded. How do you think these people know how to snatch your kids? The government don't give a damn about your kids. All they care about is the dollar bill, man. That's all they care. They do not care about your kids. They don't. Unless it's a rich white kid. That's it. Or a politician's kid. That's it. But other than that, they don't give a damn about your kids. Stop saying kids, because you don't give a damn about kids. Because if you cared about any kids, all of them Republicans and that one fool, Matt, whatever his name is, he'd be in federal prison right now for sex trafficking on kids and rape. Every one of those Republicans will be behind bars right now. Every one of those Republicans. So don't talk about the laws to us citizens, because the United States already ruled. All rules, regulations, and penal codes and laws are for government official employees. It's in the Constitution of Rights, man. It's in the Bill of Rights too. You know, stop letting these fools get away with this bullshit, man. You know, stop letting these fools get away with this bullshit. I'm not gonna continue letting these fools violate my constitutional rights. You see, I'm not whatsoever. No more, no more. They did it once in court during my divorce. You know, no more, no more. I got a retaliation case that I'm fighting right now for freedom of speech and freedom of the press that I posted. And this person, she called a different law enforcement agency from Minnesota. She calls one law enforcement agent, man, leave that man alone. She calls another one, leave that man alone. He didn't do shit. He got the right to freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Homeland Security investigated me. You got the right to say what you didn't threaten nobody. You mad. Everybody can see that. Plus, you're not capable of carrying out no threat. No, I'm not. You know, I'm not. You know, so they violate your constitutional rights. So I just filed a federal lawsuit on that there and everything. And I'm going to take them down. You know, I'm going to take them down. I'm not going to keep letting these people keep harassing me and violating my constitutional rights. Anytime a company says, well, he didn't violate our policy, so why y'all keep harassing this man? And then without a federal court order, mind you, they have to have a federal court order. Without a federal court order for you to be on my internet, my YouTubes, there's a tracking number that I see that the sheriff's department's been on my YouTube and stuff out there in Minnesota, you know, and you better have a fucking federal court order, because that's what I want to see, a federal court order that gave you, and what lies did you get? What lies did you commit and perjury that you committed to get a court order? You know, that's what I want to know, you know. And I told yesterday I spoke with this public defender. I told him straight the fuck out, man. I said, look, man, your loyalty is to the state of Minnesota. Your job is to do two things: get a conviction or get some kind of probation, whatever. Them are your only two jobs to do. Your job is not to win no case. So you removed, point blank, you removed. I'm going pro per. That's what I'm going pro per. So I couldn't believe when he said, what is pro per? Motherfucker, you supposed to be an attorney. You don't even know what pro per is? Man, oh man. You mean pro se? No, I didn't say pro se. I said pro per. Pro per. Not pro se. Pro per. Pro per. Pro per. So, but check this out. This is what it says about, hold up before I get off the subject, but this is what it says about Zoom. Okay. All transfers and descriptions of Zoom from all states in the United States, including access to court documents, court videos, everything is owned and operated by Zoom. Under the new policy guidelines, under Section 10.4, updated terms, Zoom has all copyrights, license, distribute, can change, can alter all videos and all copyrights to Zoom. They have it all. From the courts, they have it all. And a lot of people saying, wait a minute, that's unjustifiable, man. Where's my privacy? Where's my constitutional rights of privacy? You know, you don't have that when you use Zoom. The United States don't even have that when they use Zoom. So we need to start putting Zoom in these courthouses, on these judges and their houses, and see how they operate with their families and stuff. We need, excuse me. We need to start drug testing these judges, alcohol testing these judges, and all of the pigs from the pigs, deputies, sheriffs, pig cops. They all got to be drug tested and alcohol tested, you know, and they should be fired, you know. Every time you turn the news on, all over the world, all over the United States, you got cops busting in people's doors and everything else. The Constitution right says we got the right to protect our family, our home, our property under the Constitution rights. We got the right to shoot you. We got the right to kill you once you break into our residence without a warrant, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We got that constitutional rights. The forefathers already stated that we run the government. The government don't run us. We run the government. We, the people. We, the people, put in who in office and who we put out of office. We, the people. Not no Republican, not no Democrat, not no Congress can overrule what the constitutional right says. It says in the constitutional right, Congress shall make no laws to infringe on the constitutional rights. Congress shall make no laws to infringe on the constitutional rights because it is against the law. The word infringe. No state can make the constitutional right to override the original constitutional right. None whatsoever. That's what you got to look at, your 1776 constitutional rights. State constitutional rights is always void when it comes to your original 1776 constitutional rights. It's unconstitutional, and it does not fall in the category of the original Constitution. That's the law of the land. That's the common law of the land. It's in the common law books. Salvage, all of that is in the laws, in the common law books and everything. You know, and these judges, they can't get away with this no more about you a sovereign. Yes. They can't get away with one of them people. No. They can't get away with that no more because it's in the common law. It's the law of the land. And people don't understand that. You got to read your Constitution, man. Don't go with this new Constitution because that doesn't mean shit. You got to read your original Constitution, 1776. 1776 speaks also about freedom of speech. There's no such thing in there about hate speech, threat speech, anything. They cannot change it. You got the right to say what you want to say. That's your constitutional right. Their constitution don't mean nothing. You got all of these judges that in the Superior Court where they got their hands in people's pockets and wallets, like Claire Thomas. Now, that man, he's not even a man. All right? He's just like some of the house nigga pigs, cops, deputy sheriffs, and the house bitches, pig, cops, deputy sheriffs. He's just like them. He number the house boy. That's all he is. Number the house boy. He has no respect for his ancestors that died in slavery and everything else. He has no respect for life whatsoever. You know, that guy there doesn't have no respect for life whatsoever. You know, and I hope to God one day he comes across where he gets pulled over and he gets dragged out by the Klansmen or whatever state he lives in, and he get beat down the way the rest of these people in the United States are getting beat down because they won't roll their windows down and stuff. He needs the same thing to happen to him when he gets pulled over. You see, that man needs this. Every judge that does not follow the letter of the law needs the same thing to happen to them and their families, what happens to us citizens. Yeah. Everything needs the same thing that happens to us needs to happen to them. You know, so the police and all of them crooked, violent people shouldn't even be picking who to choose no more. They should do it to all. Every FBI agent, every other police officer, every fire department, every judge, the judge's kids, judges' brothers, sisters, mothers, they got to do the same thing to them. They got to do the same thing to them. And let's see what they got to say when that happens to them, when their kids get beat down, when their kids get shot, you know, when their kids get dragged out of the car and stung 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 90 times. Same thing has to happen to them. Same thing has to happen to their family. Let the police go up to their family when they having weddings and interrupt the wedding and ask everybody for ID. Heil Hitler. I told y'all before, man, even in the Constitution rights, it states, Thomas Jefferson stated in the Constitutional rights, the only one that's going to violate your constitutional rights is within your own government. States it in there. He states it. It's just like your own enemy will be your own government. Your own enemy will be your own government. Your own enemy will be your own government. He states it. Jefferson states it. Madison states it. Washington states it. The people, we the people, run the government. It's not the government runs the people. It's we the people run the government. Every one of them people, from Congress to Congresswomen, Republicans, Democrats, once you violate your oath of office and you violated the constitutional rights, and it states it in the Constitution too, about treason, and that's just what they all have committed, treason. You're supposed to be in front of the people in firing squad or hung. And that's what every one of them on January 20th did. They committed treason against the Constitution and against executed, waiting in federal prison to be executed, because that's what the constitutional right says. They have to be executed. That's what it says. That's what the constitutional right says. Once you commit treason, you're supposed to be executed. It's in the Constitution. But people don't go by, people don't have no remorse no more. People don't have no respect no more. People always want to be in other people's business, man. And I'm watching all of these friends and Guy Karens, and they getting beat down, man. they getting beat down. I'm just like, how you gonna tell somebody they can't park there on the street, and then you end up busting their car windows, and then you wonder why you getting beat down? Oh man, these folks, man, they lost their minds, man. Minds, and they always. I don't understand something. Why is it when these cops get busted, the first thing they say about, please, Your Honor, my family, have mercy on me. Please, Your Honor, my family. You just killed somebody. You wasn't thinking about your damn family when you killed that man. What about his family? What about his kid to grow up now without a daddy, his real father, or that child's mother, because you killed her? And what right do you got to hit a pregnant woman? but you want the courts to have mercy on you. It's funny how they blame everybody else, but not themselves. And these judges, they should even be on the bench. No law enforcement, no DA, no prosecutor, no city attorney, none of them should be allowed to practice law when they violate the oath of office, when they violated the constitutional rights. Wake up, people. They're human beings just like we are. They're not no Superman. They're not no Wonder Woman. They're none of that. They are human beings just like we are. We got to stop letting these people get away with this. And how the hell you going to say you can't film a patrol car? Man, are you that stupid? Taxpaying dollars paid for that patrol car. Then you talk about tinted windows. Look, I can't have tinted windows. You ain't allowed to have tinted windows. Cops got tinted windows where they can only see you from inside their vehicle. So you ain't allowed to have tinted windows. Don't talk about no tinted windows, man. There's nothing in the Constitution right that's got to say that says, and you got to go by the Constitution right. The hell with their laws. Their laws don't mean nothing. You got to go by your privacy and your freedom of speech and everything else in the Constitution right, because nothing in the Constitution right. 1776 says that you got to get off your horse or your buggy and have them pull you out or talk to you. Nothing in the Constitution right says that. Their laws don't mean a damn thing because the Superior Court already ruled. All rules, regulations, and codes and laws are for government employees only, not the abided citizen. It's in the Constitution, man. Superior Court already ruled that in all states. All states. All states. No law that says I got to get out of my car. Get out your car, roll your windows up, lock the doors. Violation of your privacy, violation, search and seizures. You don't got to wait for them to come bring a damn search warrant. You don't got to wait for them to bring a smelling dog. It's a violation of your privacy, man. Violation of search and seizures. Start reading your constitutional right, not your state constitution, because the state constitution don't mean a damn thing. A damn thing. You got to go by what your federal constitutional right says, 1776 to 1779, 1781. Read your constitution. Keep it with you. That's what you go by. In the Constitution, original Constitution, it says, if you cannot afford counsel, counsel will be provided to you. Anyone can be a counsel to you to help you in a case. Anyone. It has nothing to do with attorney. No. The state's constitution is in violation and unconstitutional for the original Constitution. The Constitution that says you have a right to be represented by counsel, not an attorney, by counsel. You have a right to defend yourself. You have that constitutional right. State's constitution, federal constitution overrides all state constitutions, man. No ifs and no buts. In the Constitution, it does not say you have a right to an attorney. That's their words to put in there. That means nothing. You have a right to counsel. You got a right to get whoever you want to help you with your case. You got a right. That's your constitutional right. The right to counsel doesn't mean you got the right to an attorney. No. It does not. It does not. Now, I told this public figure, I said, look, man, dude, you play them games and stupid games with somebody else. You removed, point blank. I already did my motion, and I already did a motion, and I had it stamped yesterday, and I had it notarized and everything. I'm not doing no video. That's the bottom line. I'm not doing no telephone call, no nothing. I got the right by my constitutional rights to be in court. I got the right to question all my accusers. I got that constitutional right. That right I have. You know, and it also says in common law and in the Constitution, the state cannot be a victim. The states cannot be a victim. Common law, Constitution. The state cannot be a victim. A victim is a person. A habeas corpus, a person has to be a victim. A person. So they say I threatened somebody with violence. I didn't threaten nobody. You know, I was upset. You took my words out of context. That's on you. You know, that's on you. You know, everybody on the face of this earth gets upset. Everybody gets upset. I wouldn't care who you are. But let's see here. Isn't it a threat under the 14th Amendment when a police officer points a gun at you? When you have done nothing wrong, that's a threat. That's not only a threat, that's attempted murder, manslaughter, assault with a deadly weapon, kidnap. And then they throw in there, oh, there's another thing he threw in there. He puts in the court case bogus charges just to beef up the charges, right? Which is conspiracy, for falling under the laws of conspiracy and discrimination. Oh, straight racist discrimination and retaliation. See, they all work together in the courthouse. But anyway, he puts in there disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct says drunk in public, causing a disturbance in public. Disorderly conduct ain't got a damn thing under no laws whatsoever about disorderly conduct what a person puts on the videos. There's no such law. So I'm looking up the law for about things on YouTube and all the websites. No such law of disorderly conduct for what you post on the internet. No such law for disorderly conduct. See, that's how bad they want me. But yet, I seen this prosecutor when I was going through my divorce, talking with the judge plenty of times because there was other cases. They had criminal cases in there. You personally know this judge. You know her kids, her husband. From both judges, you know their kids, their husband. You go out drinking with them. You go to their parties. You go, you know. So this little county is all worked together, and not one of them can produce an oath of office. Not one of them. When I asked, not one. All they did was just ignore me. Not one of them. Not one of them can produce an oath of office. Not one of them. Not one of them. Superior Court already ruled. If the person is capable of carrying out a threat, I'm not capable of carrying out no threat. That's number one. Number two, was the person upset? Then he has every right. First Amendment freedom of speech. I was upset. Some judge rules against me and I had never been in court because of a snowstorm when I filed my motion and my affidavit, which my affidavit is sitting there. And then they let this attorney file a motion for dismissal, which on the judgment, when the judge did not hear your side, that judgment is void. Not only is it void, but now I'm going to get this attorney's law firm for perjury. This guy's like, there wasn't no snow on January 3rd. Man, it was a big snowstorm in the state of Minnesota on January 3rd. A big, huge snowstorm. It came all the way up. The snow was blowing and so high, it came all the way up to the tires, right above the tires on all cars. I got stuck in it. I got stuck in a snowstorm on January 3rd, you know? And then they play the trick. This is how the courts commit their conspiracy. So the court lady, she calls me as I'm on my way, and I got stuck. I said, well, look, I'm driving and I got stuck. My phone is about to go dead. I'm telling her this. right? My phone's about to go dead. I don't got a charger in the car. So anyway, make a long story short, my phone is dead. I got stuck. This guy and his wife helped everybody, and you know, he said, "Man, I'll bring your car later." I said, "Okay." Drop me off and stuff. And what happened was my phone is dead, being charged, right? And the next day, I get all of these messages. So they calling, and you can hear the beep, when they call on the phone, and they talking over the beep, and they talking to a recording. Mr. Malillo, pick up the phone. Press this number. Now they know that they're talking to a recording. That's the conspiracy of the courts, both court clerks and the judge. They know, but the judge calls. She says the judge called her and says he's not coming in because of the snowstorm, and he don't want to postpone nothing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Constitutional rights, man. And the Sixth Amendment, I got the right to a fair trial. I got the right to a hearing. I got the right to be in court. The clerk court, conspiracide, both clerk courts did, and the judge. The judge wasn't supposed to hear nothing but one thing. All courts that day on January 3rd, all court cases were canceled. All court cases were canceled on January 3rd. This one attorney, he was supposed to start trial. His court case was completely canceled because of the snowstorm. This other attorney, this lady, her court cases were canceled, and she was going through a divorce. Her client was going through a divorce. That was canceled. All court cases were canceled in the state of Minnesota on January 3rd, 2023. This fucker did not even want to give me another court date. Violation of my constitutional rights. So I wrote a letter, and I sent it with an appeal. And he said, yes, violation of your constitutional rights. You have a right to be in court. You have a right to represent yourself. Yes, all courts were closed on January 3rd, 2023 from the snowstorm in Minnesota, the biggest snowstorm that Minnesota ever had. The motion that was filed is void. That was granted to the court, that the judge granted to the courts. First of all, I don't even know this judge. I don't even know if this judge has jurisdiction. I don't know nothing about this judge. All right? You have jurisdiction of this here, You have a right to hear this case. And that's just like with this new judge. I don't know if you got jurisdiction. I don't know if you got knowledge of it. I don't know nothing, But I got that right to ask that, and you guys to stop all procedures until you prove to me that you got jurisdiction. Geographic, personal, it works. So my thing is up there on that there. My motion is on that, And these people, man, they that courthouse. And then I just found out that it's in Sibling County. So that courthouse is the dirtiest and the crookedest courthouse there. So they call you and they say, pick up the phone. Oh, I think he's on the phone. No, you're talking to an answering service. So I kept all those messages, man. I kept all those messages to prove my lawsuit on how conspiracide that those court clerks do. This one, even the supervisor there, they're supposed to know the law, but yet they violate the constitutional rights. They violate the people's constitutional rights. I mean, I'm not. One thing that I'm glad about what some of these Republicans are doing is taking away all women's rights. And even the women politicians, Congress and Republicans and Democrats, they all lost their rights with what the Republicans did, what those Republican men did to women's rights, man. And now, so you go out there and let your kids get an abortion. You go out there, you be gay, you going to jail. That's what they're saying. You going to jail. From Texas to Florida, you going to jail. You know, that's the laws that they pass. You going to jail. If you gay, you going to jail. Your family going to jail. You know, that includes Republicans and Democrats. You know, you're not above the laws no more. No, you know, and it's funny how 95% of the women in this country are just really ignorant and stupid because they let that happen. You know, and any of the house niggas that be on the Republican side, you deserve everything you got coming to you. And that goes for any other race. If you ain't for your race and stop all the, I mean, I seen Spanish, I seen Mexicans in California just going against their own kind because they selling food and calling the police on them. It's pitiful how race against their own race. And none of these idiots see the real picture, man. I told y'all it's going to get worse. Now you got Africa saying, get your butts out of my country. Kicked out France. That's good. Kicked out the United States. That's good. You know, the United States did this to ourselves. We let this happen because we are not fighting for our constitutional rights and get rid of the government. We have to get rid of all racist individuals in government. We have to. No ifs and no buts. We have to. We letting this happen to us. From the high prices to food shortage, we are letting the government do this. And if anybody saw what happened in Hawaii, you could see a lightning. You could see the light, the laser light coming from the sky when the fire started. You could see the flash and everything. What the hell are we doing with that up there in space? Y'all people didn't think about that, huh? What the hell are we doing with that up there in space so we can knock out other countries and stuff? The Hawaiian government should kick out everybody in the United States out of there. That land belongs to the Hawaiians. That is their land. That is their land. They land. You know, I got no respect for none of them artists that got property over there. You ain't got no right to have property over there. That is those Hawaiians people's land. You know, it's just like so-called America. America belongs to the Indians. America belongs to the Indians. So how the hell you see I need a visa to come to my own country? America belongs to the Indians. Then you hear these people telling, go back to your country. Nah, every one of you racist people need to go back to your country where your ancestors are from, Europe. All of your ancestors are from Europe. All your ancestors are from Europe. And believe it or not, white people were slaves. Egypt had white people as slaves. Blacks had white people as slaves. England was giving away their daughters to black people that was in England, and they were slaves. Now, you don't want to talk about that part of history, but you want to keep out the one history that ran this whole world, and that was the dark people, as they called them back then, and they were African American. They were African people, African tribes, all over the continent. African people design everything you have in your house. Everything when you turn on that air conditioner, that ain't from no white person. No inventor done that. African. When you turn your light switch on, African. People, y'all are some stupid fools, man. Stop voting for these ignorant fools and vote them out of office because times are getting hard. I said it and I'll say it again. Times are getting hard. And stop letting this government fool you about Social Security. Social Security ain't got nothing to do with the deficit under no circumstances whatsoever. Under no circumstances whatsoever. Social Security is paid in by property taxes and business taxes, employee payroll taxes, you know. And so they want to get rid of. Stop buying all your stuff. Stop shopping online. Get your ass out of your get your fat ass out of your house and go to the store. Stop purchasing online. Stop bitching about somebody stole your identity online and stuff. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. I have never shopped online for nothing. Stop shopping online. My identity was stolen and used behind my ex-wife and her friend. You know, but the court says that they can do that. She got the right to do that. She got the right to use my Social Security number. She got the right to use order credit cards under my name and all of that. She got that right. That's what the court says. But that's in federal court now. State court ain't got nothing to do with it no more. Now it's federal. So now I got to see what the federal judge got to say. You know. So when your ID gets stolen or identity theft, wait. This man right here, his case is in court. And the judge said, divorce judge said it's okay for her to do identity theft on him and everything else. So I should be able to get away with the same thing. That's all you got to do. Pull out my divorce record. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. That's all. The courts say that the police can give out your Social Security number to people. The courts say that the police can give out your address to people. That's what the courts say in Minnesota. Minnesota court says you have no privacy. The court's got the right to give out your personal information, your financial records, and all of that. The court's got that right to do that. That's what they say. And now you go on Zoom, you ain't got no say-so. You lost all rights. And the courts lost all rights. The courts can't do nothing to Zoom. Because when you use their product, the court's got to go by what they rules and regulations says under 10.4. Update rules and regulations and policies. I couldn't believe I'm like, where did this court case come from? I was watching this program and the commercial came on and it jumped straight to a Zoom court case. And I'm like, oh my God, they're showing us on what? And the divorce procedures was going through, you know? And I'm like, holy shit, they showing these people getting a divorce and everything being said in the courtroom. Oh my God, oh hell no. I'm not using Zoom. And they do it even if you use Zoom, when you calling, Zoom got the right to keep all of them records. The courts have no say-so. The United States courts have no, they can't even pass a bill or a policy against Zoom because Zoom is not in the United States. Zoom is in the Philippines. Their laws don't mean nothing to the United States. Their rules and regulations don't mean shit to the United States. See, so they can't do nothing to Zoom. Stop using Zoom, people. Stop using Zoom. All policies, recordings, videos, and transcripts can be, all policies by section 10.5 of the updated from Zoom, all videos, prescriptions, paid prescriptions, non-paid prescriptions, are licensed and operated by Zoom. Zoom has the complete authority to all videos, data use, transcripts, radio, telephone calls. They own that property. They own all copyrights, everything you say. They can change, alter, whatever they want and choose to do on Zoom. That's under their new policy. That's under Zoom's new policy. They have all control over whatever you say from the courts. Courts ain't got nothing. Federal courts, state courts, park enforcement courts, they control all of that. They have all rights and privilege to all of that information. Zoom does. That's the update policy, 2023. Zoom has all authority to whatever you do on Zoom. All authority. And it's sad, you know. For people who use a Zoom, y'all better look it up. Don't believe me. Nobody believes me when I say something. Don't believe me. We gotta stop letting these judges, let these pigs, cops, sheriff, deputies, and judges get away with murder. And these DAs, false imprisonment, false charges, chumped up charges. Yeah, chumped up charges, man. Chumped up. Just throw a charge in there to make a case look good. Just throw a charge. Yeah, I'll get them with 2 counts of disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct. Wait a minute. What law is disorderly conduct? And disorderly conduct says drunk in public, disturbing the peace in public. But because I did a video, that's disorderly conduct. Under what law? I couldn't even find it under video laws and nothing like that whatsoever. That's how much hate this white man got for me. That's how much hate this white man got for me. That's how much hate this white man got for me. That's how much hate. But I'm not doing no Zoom. That's not happening. I don't give a fuck. I got that constitutional right not to do Zoom. Your see, this is the way the prisons, the criminal system, the justice system is now. Okay? They want to violate your constitutional rights not to be in court. There's no reason whatsoever on the face of this earth that a person cannot be in court. No reason whatsoever why that person cannot step his feet in that courthouse. No reason whatsoever. These judges sit back, they get drunk, they have birthday parties. Oh, I got a case. Y'all be quiet. I got to go outside and hear this case. It's a violation of your constitutional rights, man. That's in violation of your constitutional right. We got the right to be in court. That judge get paid to have that judge's ass in that courtroom, not sitting at home fishing, not at somebody's wedding doing a case, not being drunk doing a case. They get paid to be in court. They get paid to be in court. They violated everyone's constitutional rights with Zoom. I don't give a damn what their policies. Their policies don't mean nothing. Their policies are for them. The policies are not for the citizens of the United States. Their policies are for them, not for the citizens of the United States. There's no laws. Even if it was a law, it's unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional. No ifs and no buts. They can't even beat the federal constitution laws under no circumstances. That's how lazy and crooked the United States has become, just to keep slavery going. Just to keep slavery going. We'll violate this person's rights, so we do Zoom. No, you're not doing no Zoom on me, man. That's the bottom line. I wouldn't give a damn if I don't got the equipment or whatever. I'm not doing no Zoom. I'm not doing no telephone call. Constitutional rights. I have the right to be in court and to be heard. I have a right to question and cross-examine my witnesses. I have that right. I have that right. I have that right. And so somebody said to me, well, I had an argument with this one attorney. I said, dude, stop saying that's under just federal laws. No. It's in the constitutional rights under we the people. It's under the constitutional rights. And that's what you got to go by, what the constitutional rights says, 1776, 1781, 1791. You got to go by what the constitutional rights says. Not this bullshit constitution that they got out there because it's unconstitutional. Federal constitution overrides all state constitutions. All state constitutions. Even from the Superior Court, the original Constitution overrides what they say because it says Congress shall make no laws whatsoever or even infringe under the original Constitution. Congress shall make no laws to infringe a freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to picket. No laws. Congress shall make no, that's the word. Congress shall make no laws to infringe under the Constitution rights. No laws. That's what it says. No laws. There's no other way to put it. It's plain and simple. They can't twist words around and all of that shit. They can't. They do. But the original Constitution stands. No ifs and no buts. Just like it says, the only way you're going to lose all your rights is from the government. It's from within. We, the people, run the government. It's not the government run the people. It's we, the people. We put who we want in office. We take out. Once they violate their oath of office and the constitutional rights, we have the duty to have them executed. It says it right there in the constitutional rights. Once you commit treason against the Constitution, you're supposed to be executed. No ifs and no buts. Once you commit treason against the United States Constitution, you're supposed to be executed. No ifs and no buts. And your family and everything you have is supposed to be confiscated by the government. No ifs and no buts. Once you and your family has committed treason, that's what it says in the Constitution. Every forefather signed that law in the Constitution. In the Constitution. It's just like subsection 1 through 6 under the 14th Amendment, the original Constitution. When a police officer or anybody points a weapon at you, that's attempted murder. There's no ifs, no buts. That's attempted murder on your life. That's assault with a deadly weapon, kidnap, it works. It's just like people got to wake up. When these Karens stop you from leaving, that's a kidnap. Charge these fuckers, man. Have them charged. And if the police officers do not charge them and arrest them for a kidnap, then you sue that police. See, you could sue judges. 1983. All courts already know 1983 cannot be denied under the color of law. That's a federal case, man. So these judges try to play these little games, but they forget about one thing. Once you play your game, when somebody files in 1983 under the color of law, you violated my rights under the color of law. And some of these judges want to play these games. They forget about one important thing. Them people can go after them judges too. Each person that works in the courthouse has to be bonded. No ifs and no buts. Each person that works in the courthouse has to be bonded. And that's what you go after. You put a talk on their bonds, like I did. I was waiting to be heard now. You know, I just filed another one in federal court, you know, and see, understand something. They courts and rules, the Superior Court already ruled. All rules, regulations, and codes and penal codes is for them. Not for society. It's for them. For them. See, I got the right to serve you myself. I got the right to mail out my lawsuit to you. I don't need no authority or your permission to file a lawsuit, because it doesn't say that in the Constitution, right? It says you got the right to sue the government. You got the right to bring grief and lawsuit against any government employee. You have that constitutional right to bring lawsuit. To bring lawsuit against the government. You have that constitutional right. You have that right to bring a suit. It says nothing in the Constitution about having somebody over the age of 18 to serve them or have this person. No. No, it doesn't say nothing in there. Nothing in there that. Nothing whatsoever. They rules and regulations don't mean shit. That's what you got to go by. They rules and regulations doesn't mean a damn thing. They have to follow the rules and regulations. Rules and the regulations and the codes are for government official employees only. That's who it's for. All courts already ruled that. All superior courts already ruled that. All superior courts already ruled that. You know? And it's funny because when you commit, like when these DAs and prosecutors, they could be sued and you could demand charges for them because they have committed perjury. They're not above the law neither. They're not. Once you know that you violated this person's constitutional rights, you lose all immunity. Your immunity is gone, which in the Constitution right states that there's no such thing as immunity. None whatsoever. No judge, no police, no president. No one has immunity in the United States. No one has immunity. Now you got all of these states, Colorado. That's the best law Colorado passed too. They lost immunity. Other states, qualified immunity is gone. You got 6 states that already violated, that removed qualified immunity from judges, prosecutors. All of that shit is gone. New York is the strongest one. Colorado is the biggest and the strongest one that did that. They said straight out, once a police officer, I don't care, any law enforcement that cuts off their body cam, you will be charged with tampering with evidence. That's what they ruled in Colorado. Your statement doesn't mean nothing. Any prosecutor that prosecutes someone and knows that that person is an innocent person, they lost all qualified immunity. They can be prosecuted and sued. Anybody can be sued. You can't stop somebody from suing nobody in the United States, because that's the private of your rights. That's the private of your rights. You know, and like this one judge, I told this judge, I said, look, I said, you just now admitted on paper that you deprived me of my constitutional rights. You deprived me of this. Now I got to file a complaint against you. And it went all the way up to Washington, D.C., man. I was shocked that I got to answer back. He says, no, he cannot do that. He knows that. He knows that. So they sent me this other paper to report what he said and everything else and show the documents. And I did that, made copies and sent it out there and stuff. And what is the recommendation that you were requesting the courts to do? I want him removed. Because if he could violate a person's constitutional rights, he's been doing that for a long time. If he could deprive somebody of their constitution, then that judge's been doing that for a long time. And that's what has to be looked at. You know, every case that he heard has to be looked at very, very strongly now. If he deprived me of mine, then think what he did to other people. But yeah, now I'm waiting on this stuff here. They got to call me or something, because we go on the 28th. Go to court on the 28th. And then it's weird how they just violate your rights. It's really weird. It is really weird, man. 1776. 1776 constitutional rights. What does it say about freedom of speech?
According to the Reagan Library Education blog, National Archives, the original writing of the Constitution says that Congress cannot interfere with the First Amendment right to speech in the press. This has long since been interpreted by the Supreme Court to mean that all American speech cannot be infringed upon by any branch or section of the federal, state, or local governments.
You see that? No state or federal or local governments can interfere with freedom of speech, and they cannot tell us what we got the right to say, what we cannot say. They cannot tell us you don't got a right to curse. We can say whatever the hell we want to say, because that's our constitutional rights under 1776, freedom of speech, period. The original written of the Constitution says that Congress cannot interfere with the First Amendment right to speech and the press. Congress shall not make no laws under no circumstances of freedom of speech and freedom of the press. No state laws, no federal laws. That's what it says, 1776. They cannot infringe on this constitutional rights under no circumstances. Not no United States Superior Court judges can rule again on this. None of them can. The only thing they can say is we will not take up that challenge. That's it. because they took the oath of office of the constitutional rights. There's no ifs and no buts. They cannot infringe on the Constitution. No state, no government. No state, no government can infringe on the constitutional rights. They cannot even pass no laws. And that's what 1776 says under the Constitution. Those chief justices in the United States Superior Court, they shouldn't even be hearing cases like that whatsoever, because they know they're not even supposed to open up their mouths. The only thing they were supposed to say is, you cannot infringe of freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of expression. You cannot infringe on those rights under no circumstances. We got the right to say what we want to say. We got the right to curse. We got the right to call you whatever we want to call you. That's our freedom. That is our freedom. Man, if I was governor, man, you lock somebody up for constitutional rights, you going to jail for violating that man's constitutional rights or that woman's constitutional rights. You kick a pregnant woman, you going to jail. You going to prison. You a cop, deputy, sheriff, judge, DA, whatever, and you let them get away with assaulting a pregnant woman, you going to prison with them. The state will be following what the original constitutional right says. You kick in somebody's door without a warrant, you going to prison for breaking and entering in the Terrorist Act. That's where you going. Any judge or any prosecutor that refuse to prosecute you for killing an African American or a Spanish or Mexican person, they will be sitting in prison because they violated your constitutional rights. They violated your families. They violated every right that you could think of. Because I will be working for the people, for the Constitution that was sat down by the forefathers. You cannot tell nobody to get out of their car. You cannot even use no more. This is what's so funny. It was in New York. The Superior Court ruled out there in New York that you cannot use saying you smell an odor coming from this man's car. That does not give you the probable cause to search that man's car. Because you claimed you smelt an odor. The odor could be coming from that officer. And trust me, cops smoke weed. All of those pigs smoke weed. They drink, they beat their wives, and their wives beat their husbands. Those laws are for them too. I was watching this one case out here on the news the other day about this cop in Minnesota. He was out of St. Paul, Minnesota. He was a sergeant, a deputy. This man planted evidence on this guy. The works. Planted evidence on this dude and everything. So there was a lawsuit that was filed, right, against this guy. And he was being investigated for violation of this man's constitutional rights. So to make a long story short, he got busted, false arrests, falsified police reports, planting more charges on the guy, and conspiracy. Right, this deputy. He was a sergeant out of Minnesota, somewhere in a place called St. Paul, Minnesota. Right, and this happened in 2020. So anyway, make a long story short, he made a deal. Oh, but hold on. Before I go for that, now this man had not one, not two, not three, but this son of a bitch has 7 domestic violence cases against him, and he's still carrying a gun and a badge. Yeah, he has 7 domestic violation cases on him, and he still got a badge and a gun. That was a funny thing about the whole situation, man. I'm like, wait a minute, how can this motherfucker still got a badge and a gun and he beating up women and stuff? Now, he not only just beat up his wife, he beat up his girlfriend and put the gun in her mouth and stuff like that. That's what the police report was saying. That's what the FBI was talking about, right? So what he did was he made a deal to go to state prison, not the federal prison. He was looking at federal. I don't know if they dropped the federal charges on him or what, but he took state, right? And he only got it 3 years. Now, if that was you or me, you'd be looking in there about 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So what is the difference? I forgot the nationality and they're employed by the government. That's the only two difference. That's the only two difference. It's like this here, man. I don't give a damn who you are. You're a human being. I don't care about your family. I don't care about your kids. I don't care about none of y'all. Once you break the law, you're supposed to get the same time as everybody else. I don't give a damn how long you've been a cop, how long you've been a detective, how long you've been in homicide. Once you break the law, you're supposed to be in prison no matter ifs and whats. You didn't think about that families, those people's families or kids. So why in the hell we should think about yours? Use your common sense, people. We got to get rid of all of these crooked judges, these racist judges, these racist DAs, these racist people. We got to get rid of them out of office, man. And you see, the case on me, retaliation, discrimination, and hate. They think because you put a case on me, that's going to stop my lawsuit. No, 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 no. Because I still got the right to appear for my federal lawsuits. That's my constitutional rights. That is my rights. Even prisoners got the right to file lawsuits. That's my constitutional right. You know, it says 1776, 1781, 1791. Congress shall pass no laws to infringe on freedom of the speech and freedom of the press. No state, no laws whatsoever could be passed against the constitutional rights. That's what you got to go by. Those words right there, infringe. Shall not pass, cannot pass, shall not pass, cannot pass. That's what it says. Congress cannot override the Constitution. None of them racist Congresses up in there, none of them racist Republicans, they can't do nothing to the Constitution, man. And the federal courts knows this. So when a federal judge, if they even let it get by, check their bank account. Check their bank account. Look at how many cases that I'm not even gonna call him African American because he's not. That houseboy did, Claire Thomas, the Judge Claire Thomas, the houseboy. Look what he did. Look at all of the trips and stuff just to rule in favor from the political party. Cause he getting kickbacks and he married to a white lady. Yeah. Yeah, look what he did. Look what he did. Look what he did. You know? And then you got, I think you got another African American lady. I don't even know what she is. But and you got a Spanish lady, don't know what she is because she just like went, you know what's so funny is how some of these women even going against women. That's the most craziest thing in the world. You know, like I see all of these people on the news, pro-choice, motherfucker, you ain't got no choice no more. Your daddy just ruled against all your rights. So a guy now can go out there, beat the hell out of his woman and stuff like that and get away with it now. They can, because they just said, the Republicans said women have no rights. Don't blame me. Don't blame the messenger. You got to go after the people that did it, that said it. Them are your Republicans. Them are your Republicans. Them are the people you voted in office. You know, them are the people you voted in office. You know, and these idiots, they go by that and See, nowadays women can't say nothing no more, man. Women don't got. I'm waiting for the Republicans to this is what I think that's going to happen real soon, though. I really believe it because they already went against all African Americans and Spanish and LGBG, whatever you call it. They already went against them. They already went against them. So now you only got a few more things to do now. Republican Party. They have a few more things to make sure that they have to do, and they will do it. Is remove all women from all kinds of offices. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. They already said women ain't got a right to this. You ain't got a right to abortion. You ain't got a right to this. You got to put kids to work at the age of 13 and 14 years old. Some states where the kids can get married now at the age of 13 and 14 and 15 years old. Man, let me tell you something, man. I don't care about your laws. If I had a child and the things that you Republicans got away with, and white judge and every white district attorney or prosecutor let these fools get away with, from sex trafficking to murdering women and all of that stuff, man. If I had a child and y'all did that to my child, my son, my daughter, no, no way, no way on God's earth, that I'll let y'all get away with that under no circumstances. You see, because once you hurt my child, there's no talking. There is no talking. If I had a child, when I was married, I've never raised my hand to my wife. In 18, 19 years, never did. She has hit me with skillets. She has cut me when she got mad. She has thrown stuff, and I've never once ever raised a hand to my wife. Never once. She has pulled my ear in public. She has smacked me in public. She has kicked me in public, but I've never once raised my hand to her. And the way y'all beat on women and these courts let y'all get away with it, they do the same thing. They do the same thing. See, there's no such thing and no such law in the Constitution that you got to be handcuffed when they pull you over. No such law. See, that's when they try to submit to you. That's when they try to make you to submit, that you're a dog, you're an animal. And that's unconstitutional. And then you always got a cop that wants to be a badass when you cuff. You see, that's the only time they do this, is when you cuff, is when they assault you. Because they know if there was a real man, which they not, they're punks and cowards, they ain't gonna do it without you being cuffed. Because they know they'll get beat down. There's no ifs and no buts. Because we got the right to defend ourselves. We got the right to protect our family. We got that constitutional right. There's no ifs and no buts. You see, no ifs and no buts. And if I was still married and y'all to pull my wife over and she calling me and I find out y'all hit my wife and beat her the way I see y'all beating these women, oh my Lord. Y'all have no right to live, man. And that's the reality. You ain't supposed to, because you got that badge and that gun on, does not give you the authority, which people got to understand. We don't got to respect you. We got to respect our family. We got to respect our mothers, our fathers, our children. That's it. I don't see where the people think trust in the police. There's no such thing. We don't have to trust no one. We don't have to trust no one. You got to earn my trust. And y'all don't deserve to have trust. Let's get one thing clear here, man. For the last time, the biggest criminals out there, judges, prosecutors, pigs, sheriffs, cops, they are the biggest criminals out there. They are the biggest criminals out there. Check this out. I found out, I don't know what made me look it up, but I happened to look up this bond that I was on, right? This OR bond. And these fuckers are getting paid under my name a percentage. The state of Minnesota. The state of Minnesota is getting paid off of the bond a percentage. Or from my OR bond, a percentage. State of Minnesota is. And it goes through the Texas Treasury of bonds. It goes through the Texas Treasury because I traced it all the way out to Texas. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is Texas doing with my information? I tracked that. I'm like, holy shit. So these people is getting money. The state of Minnesota is getting money off of my OR bond of the premium that the courts is getting that I'm out on. Yeah. Like, wait a minute, you committed fraud, identity theft. So nobody can go to jail nowhere in the United States for fraud or identity theft if you ain't doing it to these systems. No, because that's what they're doing to me. They're using my name to collect money. Yeah. When I went and checked it up, and I'm like, wait a minute, how the hell did they get my Social Security number? I never gave them my Social Security number. How the hell did they get my Social Security number? Yep. Just found that out. But people, man, we gotta stop letting these people get away with this, man. This is crazy, man. Y'all gotta stop using Zoom. I'm telling y'all. Y'all gotta stop using Zoom. They got all copyrights, video rights, telephone calls, all of that. And the courts can't do nothing. The courts can't do nothing but one thing: stop using Zoom. Stop using Zoom. Zoom is out of the Philippines. It's just like with Charter and all of those. They're overseas in the Philippines.
You've got mail.
So you got to understand, you got to protect your privacy, which under the Constitution right, we have the right to privacy. You have to protect that. No ifs and no buts, you know. You have to protect that, you know. And I'm tired of them keep bringing up kids' rights and all of this and the privacy of kids. They do not give a damn about your child. They do not give a damn about kids. They did a raid bus out of California of sex trafficking. They had involved some DAs, some judges, police officers, sheriffs, highway patrol officers involved. That they locked up. The FBI locked up. It was so hilarious. And nowadays you hear about a lot of these cops in all different states getting locked up for rape, sexual assault, sex trafficking, and they're not going to prison. There's only one police that got 200 and something years, and I think that was in it was in the United States, but I forgot what state it was. I don't know if it wasn't in California, Georgia or somewhere. This cop, he got 200 and something years for rape, sexual assault. Now that was a good judge, because the judge didn't give a damn about your family, about nothing. You had a badge on and you violated the trust of the people. And that's what the judge said. But that guy got 200 and something years for rape, sexual assault of women. And he was doing it to all African-American women. That was in poor neighborhoods and stuff like that. I don't get what people think because you above me. No, you're not above me. You don't tell no truth because you're a human being. Your word ain't better than mine. Your word is not better than mine because you got a badge on. That's just like this punk ass deputy. He put in his report that he tried to contact me. I got on record. I called you twice. You never returned my call. When I said, look, understand you want to talk to me. What is it about? This is my number. Never returned my call back. Second time, understand you want to talk to me. This is my number. Call me so me and my attorney can meet you. Never once did he return my call. That's what that's the whole investigation right there. That's his whole investigation right there. So they say anytime it's an African American or Spanish, they'll always use probable cause. They have probable cause. No, they didn't have no probable cause under freedom of speech. They had no probable cause. It also states what the United States Superior Court ruled in July of this year, 2023, that was the person on medication? How was the person's mental? Was he upset? That's a factor that you cannot file charges for threats. Was I upset? Yeah, I was upset. Case out of Colorado. I was upset. I was upset because, let me see, never got a court date. They denied me a court date, but they ruled on a motion for the other part without me being in court. They ruled on his motion, my ex-wife's attorney's motion, without even hearing my side, which that motion and that judgment is completely void because I have the right to be heard. I have a right to be heard. I have a right to be heard. I have a right to be in court. You know, I have a right to be in court. And then let's see, the other judge, the divorce judge, I had to file a complaint just to get a subpoena. And when the subpoena was done, the court stamped it and everything. I said, no, let the courts get everything. So now, when they got the records, this is what the judge says. Holy shit. He was right. Not only did the wife commit perjury in my court, but so did her attorney. Oh, this man was 100% right. This man was 100% right. But in the state of Minnesota, the courts love perjury. They don't follow the perjury. The judges in the state of Minnesota, those judges love when the attorneys commit perjury, when the attorneys testify, when they're not supposed to testify, because they don't got no knowledge in the damn thing. They're going by hearsay. You cannot use hearsay no matter what. They don't got personal knowledge of this, so they cannot testify. When the attorneys submit documents to the courts, and that person's signatures are on those documents, and you know it's perjury, but the courts in Minnesota loves the judges, love perjury. They love perjury. The courts in Minnesota loves perjury. Those perjury laws don't mean a damn thing. The courts in Minnesota loves perjury. They love perjury. They love when the women commit perjury and the attorneys commit perjury. New York City, judge gets arrested. 2023, July 14th, 2020. No, it was July 17th, 2023. Attorney gets arrested for committing perjury and conspiracy to commit perjury. So not only did he get arrested, but his client got charges too. In California, attorney gets arrested. 6 attorneys, different cases, got arrested for committing perjury, conspiracy to commit perjury, and their clients were charged, and the judge was charged. Alabama, judge is arrested for abuse of power, for allowing perjury, false testimony to be entered into her courtroom. She got 6 months in prison, but lost all rights. She lost her job and everything. In Texas, judges removed from the bench for abuse of power, for allowing perjury when she well knew that perjury was being committed in her courtroom, and allowing false documents to be presented as evidence. Judge was removed from the bench. But she was also under investigation because of the way she treated her employees, like they were her slaves. She lost her job. She got 5 years in federal in state prison. Judge in Las Vegas, Nevada. Judge in Las Vegas, Nevada was removed and also was facing attempted murder charges because she was going through a divorce and she asked a person that she has convicted. A person that she has convicted. She went out of her way. This judge went out of her way to make sure she could find the person that she convicted about 6-7 years ago for a gun charge in Las Vegas, Nevada. She had the deputy look this guy up to find out if he was out on parole or anything. And this guy was so slick. I love this guy. He was smart. Went to hire him to kill her husband because he's filed for divorce. Now, her husband was nothing but a store clerk manager, but he filed for divorce. He got tired of her abuse. He got tired of her hitting him and his kids. He got tired of her drinking. The works. Why does that sound so familiar? Because that's why I divorced my wife. Her domestic abuse. So this judge had her bailiff, a deputy, look up this guy to hire him to kill her husband. A judge. She being held without bail in the county jail in Las Vegas, Nevada, where she belonged. Where she belonged. The deputy, he testifying against the judge. The smart thing that guy did is he couldn't figure out why this judge wanted to see him. He don't owe this judge nothing. He took a recording, had it in his pocket, recording this judge. He didn't go to the police. He called the FBI. He went straight to the FBI with this. I'm not getting involved in this shit, period. Why she come after him to ask him? Because like he said, they want to make it look like a robbery or something like that, where they will not be looking at her. Where do people get that judges are not human beings? Where do people get this shit at, that they're above the laws? The cops are above the laws. DA's above the law. Nobody's above the laws, man. Nobody is above the laws. And we don't got to respect y'all, man. We don't got to trust y'all, because we don't got to respect or trust none of y'all, because number one, you're not my wife, you're not my sister, you're not my mother, you're not my father. We don't even got to listen to y'all motherfuckers, man. Nothing in the Constitutional Right says we got to listen to what you say. When you say I'm giving you a lawful order, your lawful orders don't mean shit because it's not under the constitutional rights. Your lawful orders are not for the abided citizens. Your lawful orders are for y'all ignorant fools. People, it's almost too late, man. You see these idiots busting people's doors down and stuff like that with no warrants, pulling people out of bed, coming up with excuses and stuff. When they say, well, you got a call, we getting a lot of calls because you're taking pictures. So what? We got to fight them the right way. You take all them damn cameras down that you put up in this. We did not vote for y'all to violate our privacy in public. Y'all got no right to have those cameras up there. Y'all got no right to have cameras in the courthouses. Y'all don't got that right to have cameras in malls. Every time, and stop using kids as excuses, because that don't mean a fucking thing. Because you stupid bastards, man, they video record your kids every day you take your kids out. Your kids got video recordings in school. They record your kids in the bathrooms. They record your kids when you get on the elevator. They record your kids when you go inside a mall. They record your kids in Walmart, in Target, in every store you go in the United States, your kids are being recorded. So stop using that bullshit. You can't record kids because that's a bunch of bullshit. Your own government is recording your kids. How do you think kids get snatched from schools, snatched from homes? By the help of our government. That's how your kids come up missing, by the help of our government. Do you actually believe that it's going to be somebody you know that took your kid out of that house? No. That person was ordered to take your kid. He was paid to snatch your kid by our own government. Y'all some stupid fools. So stop saying about kids, because that don't mean a damn thing. There's no laws in the United States that protects kids. No laws in the United States protect kids, because if it did, Republicans be in jail right now. Every Republican and every Democrat, every congressperson that had sex with kids would be in jail right now. Every judge, every police officer will be in prison right now for life. So those laws don't mean a damn thing. It's nothing but talk, talk, talk. Wake up, people. This is it. It's not going to get no better for us. The United States is going to get worse if you do not wake the fuck up now. They say because of inflation, no such thing. I tell you what, we got the right, we the people got the right, what salaries Congress makes. Did you ever think why are they getting paid more during a crisis when you're not getting paid nothing? So when your electricity go out, they got electricity in their house. When your car runs out of gas, they got gas in their cars. They got food in their houses, but you don't. I say it and I say it and I say it again. It's time now to wake the hell up because it's almost too late. It's almost too late. It's almost too late. And you people that are that stupid and that blind, you letting it happen. We have to all come together, get rid of all of the racism, get rid of all of the people that are the biggest criminals in the United States, and that's our government. From the judges to the prosecution, to every pig that has a uniform on, them are the criminals, man. You see it on the news every day. You see on the news, they kick a pregnant woman in her stomach, man. But it wasn't a white lady. No. Well, let me tell you, man, you beat up a white lady in handcuffs, man, it'd be all over the news, and that cop be suspended right off the bat. No. As long as she ain't white, no. We got to get rid of that mentality. We have to get rid of that mentality, man. No. No matter what, it's a woman that you kicked in the stomach and she was pregnant. A woman. Regardless about her race, it was still a woman. You threw down on the ground, you stomped a woman while handcuffed. Wow, man, y'all mentalities are something else. So y'all can't get mad when your sisters or mamas get beat like that. Y'all can't say nothing. Y'all can't pick it. Y'all can't say a damn thing because y'all letting it happen. Old days, the old days, the 1700s, you had a quarrel with a person, you went out there and duel. Blade, hand combat, or Mussick gun. You know, that was real times, man. That's when you dueled. You know, that's when you went out there and you don't disrespect my family, man. What do you want to do? I challenge you to a duel. That's what has to come back, man. Because, man, if I had kids, somebody hurt my child or my wife, no, no, mm-mm, no, no. They will not be able to walk away from it, man. We have to start protecting each other. We have to stop letting these crooked judges, these racist judges, because that's what they are, racist. That's just what they are, racist. We have to get these racist judges out of office, racist DAs, and everything. Like I found out about this one individual, man. This is the funny thing. How can you judge somebody when you do worse than I do? Isn't that amazing? The ones that judge us are the ones that do worse than what we do. You got judges that drink, that sit on the bench, that smoke weed, pop drugs, but they sitting on the bench. You got judges that do domestic violence, that molest their kids or their cousins or nieces and nephews, but they sitting on the bench. You got judges that got DUIs. Is it called DUIs? Well, I don't. Well, drink and drive. I'll just say drink and drive with no license, but they sitting on the bench and they still driving. Isn't that amazing? But they're gonna judge you for the same thing that they doing. Wow, man, this is a hypocritical country, man. The United States is gonna learn hard, man. And let me tell you something, man. They already decreased the flag. They put a black flag with white stars. That's a gang sign. That's nothing but a gang sign, you know. And the flag you got that you fought with, that your grandfathers fought for, was nothing but a lie. Nothing but a lie. And people are waking up now. Africa's waking up big time. All over the continent of Africa, kicking motherfuckers out, kicking France out, and everything else. And France needs to keep their lights on. Without heat this winter, France is gonna freeze. I'm proud of that, man. That's another Mandela right there. The United States ain't got no business in other country businesses, man. The United States offered to give food to one country, and the country said, you keep the food for your homeless. We got more homeless people in the United States than any country on the face of this earth. And everyone that y'all vote for to put in office don't mean a damn thing, because that president don't run shit but his mouth. That's all he do is run his fucking mouth. And the secretary of president run her mouth. She hated blacks in California so bad, she gave blacks more time than she ever gave a white person. For the same offense. For the same exact offense when she was a DA in California.
You've got mail.
So I don't got no respect for none of them people. I don't even like none of them people, man. You know? And that's just like with what happened in Hawaii. You see that big beam of light coming out of space. And what the hell are we doing with that up in space? Anybody ever question about that? Anybody bringing that up on the news? No. Nobody's even bringing that up on the news. Why is that? What the hell are we doing with a laser up in space anyway? Don't say to protect America, because you're not protecting America. You're causing wars. We have caused more wars and killed more people, our so-called government, than any society has ever done. In any society, man. We shouldn't even be fighting wars. Our war is right here in the United States. So-called United States is where our war is. We got to stop letting these Ku Klux Klan people getting away with all of these murders and stuff, man. False imprisonment, false charges. We got to start fighting back. That's what we have to do. And then what's that lady name? Oatmeal, whatever her name is. That house lady, Oprah, whatever her name is. Why they houses didn't get burnt down? The laser controls the area that it wants to burn. All lasers do. I can even show you how to do it. It's simple. That's just that. I did that in science class. Oh, God knows how many years ago. That's the easiest thing to do is make a laser beam. Easiest thing in the world to make is a laser beam. Easiest thing in the world. But what the hell we got something like that up in space? That's what I want to know. What the hell we got that doing up there? Nobody ever questioned that. We are the most cruelest animals on the face of the earth. We are. The ones that do not care about people's lives. Our government is the cruelest individuals on the face of this earth, man. It's not going to get no better for nobody but the rich. That's the problem. Let's stop buying their albums. Stop going to stores. Fix your own damn clothes. Wash your clothes. Stop going to these big-ass malls. Put them all out of business. And don't say, what about the people that work there? Fuck them. It's just like in 1983, when the cell phone first came out, it was Motorola. 1983, Motorola. They put all of the telephone company businesses out. Pac Bell, AT&T, Sprint, Southern Bell. They put all of those big telephone companies out of business. All those people lost their jobs. All those people lost their jobs, the operators and all that. They lost their jobs. So they brought out the cell phone, 1983. First one was Motorola. But it was a piece of crap. Then you had the second one was I believe, was it was another brand, but it wasn't AT&T because AT&T didn't come out until later on down the years. And then Microsoft telephone came out in 1987, I think it was 87 or 88. Microsoft telephone came out, but you had different model telephones. You had Motorola, you had the Galaxy, but it wasn't called the Galaxy until years later. It was something else, and I can't think of the name of it, man. I just can't think of the name of it. But it was owned by you have Verizon that came out years later. You had them all because I had the phone car, the first phone car that came out, then the shoe car, then the first flip phone came out was in 19 because it was by Verizon. The first flip phone came out was in 1989 was the first flip phone that came out. Maybe before 1980. No, 1986 or 87 was the first time the flip phone came out. That was the first flip phone that ever came out. It was 1986 or 87. This all of this stuff. All of this stuff is not new. It's just renamed. That's all it is. It's not new. It's just renamed. It's just renamed. You know, that's all it is. It's just renamed. It's none of this stuff is brand new, man. And people got to understand that. You know, and I'm trying to think of the name of that phone, but I can't even think of it, man. But it was Motorola. It was all kinds of different names because Virgin Mobile came out in the United States, which Virgin Mobile always been out there because it was an airplane. The owner started Virgin Mobile back in the late 80s. And that's when a lot of people started going for Virgin Mobile because it was better equipped. Virgin Mobile phones were much better than all of the phones that they got out now. And they still better than all of the phones that they got out now. But it was amazing because those phones were, see, they didn't start charging you for data until the late 90s, maybe early 90s. That's when they started, hey, look, let's get these suckers again, man. Look, man, since we put it out of business, all of the telephone carriers, we'll take them over. You know, we put them out of business, all the telephone companies they put out of business. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to come up with a plan to rip them off. Before, you only paid for the phone. Back then, you only paid for the phone. That's all you paid for was the phone. And then you paid for your text services, your beeper services, which I still got my beeper too. Still got my beeper, my pager. Matter of fact, I got all 6 of my original pagers. And you paid for the pages company, which was a telephone company. Okay. And then they didn't start coming out with data use until the early 90s or late 90s. As they said, well, let's get these suckers because they idiots anyway. You know, that comes from I'm calling out idiots too, but they call us all idiots. So that's when they decided to say, well, data use. So they come up with a plan for data use, you know. And then they come up with more stuff for you stupid people. You get this phone free if you sign up with us. Nothing is free. Nothing is free in this world. Nothing is free in this life. Nothing is free. You're still paying for the phone because they say you get the phone for free, but you don't get the service for free. So that's added on, which the phone may cost maybe $100. So you're paying 200 and something bucks for service, and you're paying for the phone, you see. And that's how they get all of the stupid people in America. That people are really stupid. Because if they wasn't stupid and so naive, they would say, look, take that shit somewhere else, man. Why am I paying for data? Nobody never asked that question when we wasn't paying for data back in the 80s and the 90s. You see? So they use an excuse. Well, this costs us this. I don't give a damn what it costs, because if you run a business, you're supposed to be a millionaire. So you don't need my money. So why are you charging for data? Not one person ever asked that question. Not one person. And then, you know, also what gets me is that on the news, when an African-American kid talk about the environment, help protect Mother Earth, it's nothing. When a Spanish kid talks about help Mother Earth, it's nothing. But when a white kid get up there, we need to start listening because we got climate change and all of this. White kids, it's big news. It's big news. It's big news. Oh my God, it runs all day long. Big news. Did you hear about these white kids? They talking about climate change. They went to the governor's office and they talk about climate change. Wait a minute, African Americans did the same thing. You refuse to see them. Spanish kids did the same thing. You refuse to hear them. But yet you in their country. But as soon as white kids talk about climate change, it's a big thing, big news. Climate change is there, but it's not the climate change that's killing us. It's all of the construction of Mother Earth that's killing the shell of Mother Earth. It's all of the idiots, politicians in Congress that's killing Mother Earth. They're not going to run out of food. They got food. They got big houses, free electricity. We're the only suckers is in the United States. We're the suckers. See, I hate to tell you this, but United States people, see, that's why they can't have laws on the books. That's why people got to fight. Wait a minute. You're locking this person up here for prostitution, but yet you pimping me out. Yeah. Yeah. You want to cripple America? You want to cripple the economy? Stop buying their shit. People are so stupid. Everything you buy, everything in your house, everything under your car is from overseas, from Mexico, the Philippines, China, Korea, Taiwan. Everything you buy in the United States comes from overseas. Everything you buy in Walmart comes from China. Every baby bottle you got comes from China. Pampers are made in China. The baby food is made in China that you put in your baby's mouth. China and Taiwan and Mexico is Ghoul's baby food, manufactured and made. Nothing in the United States is made in the United States. Everything you put on your dinner table comes from China, comes from overseas, comes from Mexico. Nothing you have in your house is distributed or made in the United States. Our vegetables come from overseas. Our rice comes from overseas. Our beef comes from overseas. We do not eat nothing that is made or manufactured in the United States. Our chickens come from overseas. They are brought to the United States when they're babies and we raise them. Everything in your house, everything in your car, every clothing you wear comes from overseas. Make America great. You want to make America great? You really want to make America great? Get your ass back to your country because you're not from America. Your ancestors are from Europe. They were murderers. They were rapists. They were child molesters. They were robbers. Take your ass back over to your country. America, no such thing. This land belongs to the Indians and Spanish. That's this country belongs to. We are the foreigners. Where's your passport and your visa? And I love when some of these house nigga pigs and house nigga girls, they talk all that shit. But you know it's so funny when they talk it. Yeah, I need backup. But you're supposed to be a man. What you need backup for? You're supposed to be a man. Now let's see, if a gangbanger do that, it's against the law. But they gangbangers, they damn selves. Ain't that ironic? Isn't that something? Y'all some twisted, stupid fools, man. Y'all really are. Man. I couldn't be on a jury member where somebody killed 10 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 20 pigs. I couldn't be on a jury member. I'm sorry. I'll find that person not guilty. He's innocent. He's innocent, man. I couldn't find a person that beat up a judge or anything like that, or their families or anything, find them guilty. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that because just the way they lie on us, we have the right to defend the people that protected their constitutional rights. They shouldn't be going to prison whatsoever because we got the right to defend ourselves. We got that constitutional rights. I don't give a damn what no law says. Constitutional right says we got the right to protect and defend our family and defend our home. We got the right. We have that constitutional right. Seeing all of this stuff on the news, man, it just like get me mad and mad. How you gonna turn around and tell this man he ain't got a right to record? How you gonna get in this man's face? You know? How you gonna get in this man? Check this out. I got something to tell you. I went to Walmart the other day, and this person almost got beat down, man. He really did. He tried to stop this lady. She was shopping and stuff, and you see, she's at the check cash stand, right? She's right there at the register, and the lady's ringing the lady up, right? Guy is watching her, and so the guy goes, stops her, said, "We gotta see your receipt." Lady said, "Man, get out of my way, mister. You know, we gotta see your receipt. Get out of my way." So I went up on her. I said, "You don't got to show your receipt. You do know that in the policy of Walmart, it states right there that the customers does not have to show receipts. They do not. That is not Walmart's policy. They do not have to show receipts." So I showed it to her. I even had it printed out. I showed it to her. I said, "This is Walmart's policy. This is Walmart's policy right here. Customers, when an employee asks a customer to show receipt, a customer does not have to and is not obligated to show a receipt to any Walmart employee under any circumstances whatsoever. It's in their policy." And so she goes, I said, "The reason why, you know, I stopped you." She says, "Yeah, let's say it together. Racial profiling." I said, "Yes, ma'am, racial profiling. Racial profiling." Because it says right there in Walmart's policy that no Walmart employee has a right to request to see a customer's receipt. Right there in their policy. Right there in their policy. You cannot request to see a customer's receipt. Police can't even question you to see a customer's receipt. That's in violation of your privacy. Number one, they're accusing you of theft. You got the right to sue them. You got the right to take their money. You got the right to take their house. You got the right to do all of that. See? Yeah. And she just like, and then her husband, he's coming. This was the best part of it all, too. Her husband, he's walking. He said, "What's taking so long, baby?" And we standing there. I was standing there, and she goes, "Babe, this idiot here, and this young gentleman," she points to me. I said, "Thank you, man." Shows me their policy. And so he goes, "Oh, can I have that?" So sure, I got plenty of copies in the car, man. You know, I'm tired of Walmart lying on people and stuff like that, man. But when it's in their own policy, they can't stop you to ask for receipt, you know? And so then he's an attorney. The guy's an attorney. And so the guy told her, "What you stop my wife for?" So they call the manager over. So he shows the manager. He says, "What does it say right here? This says Walmart's policy. What does it say right here?" So she reading it. "Well, I don't know about that. You're a Walmart employee. You're supposed to be a manager. You know about this. Don't play no games with me. What's your name?" "Well, I don't got to give you my name." "Yes, you do got to give you your name. Every person in every store has to wear a name tag. They doing business in the United States, they got to be licensed. They got to be bonded. They have to have a name tag. They have to be insured." Look it up. It's just like people think these security guards got power. They don't have no power. They cannot, no security guard can pull a weapon out on you without going to jail. No security guard can stop you. No security guard can stop. Now, let me tell you something. This is the way it is in California. You got to have a license to be a security guard. Your license goes through Sacramento. All right. All security guard license go through Sacramento. Once you get your security guard permit, it goes to Sacramento, then they send you the license. Now, this is where it gets tricky. If you've been in prison for any kind of robbery, credit card theft, or murder in the state of California, you cannot, listen carefully, you cannot be a security guard under no circumstances. That's Sacramento's laws. Those are the laws in the state of California. You cannot be a security guard under any circumstances. There's no ifs and no buts. You cannot be a security guard if you've been to prison for armed robbery, murder, or identity theft, or credit card fraud, or anything in that nature that deals with any kind of financial. You cannot be a security guard in the state of California. Nowhere in the state of California. You cannot be a security guard. A company cannot hold a security license and give you a security uniform. That's against the law in the state of California. Like Walmart. Walmart cannot put you as a security or loss prevention in Walmart. You have to have a license. You have to have your security guard license, your PR license, which is your baton, your mace license, which is your mace, when you're a security guard in the state of California. Those are the laws from Sacramento, California. You can look them up, do what you want to do. Those are their laws in California. You cannot be, and that's the strongest law in the state of California, which is good. If you are armed, you only can go to 2 places for your gun permit in the state of California. Gotta go to the firing range, to the FBI, which before, I don't know why, but now you got to go through Homeland Security for your firing permit and stuff, which it was never like that. See, they use the excuses 9/11 for everything, even though 9/11 was caused by our own government. You know, yes, 9/11 was caused by our own government. Be 20 years, this 9/11, be 20 years. Lost family, friends, and it hurts still. It hurts a lot. So anyway, that's the laws in California. No security guard in the state of California is allowed to put their hands on you. The only thing that a security guard can do in the state of California is from the laws of Sacramento on the security guard license. Laws of Sacramento. And trust me, they're very strong with them laws too. In the state of California, on the security guard laws, all they can do, they cannot stop you, they cannot do nothing to that. All they can do is call the police. If you're in the sheriff's jurisdiction, they can call the sheriff, the deputy. That's it. They cannot stop you. They cannot put their hands on you. Nothing like that. They can and they have to go to jail. They got to be locked up once they put their hands on you. They cannot grab your purse. They cannot go through your pockets. They cannot do none of that because that's an assault, strong arm robbery, attempt to kidnap. All they can do is observe you, watch you, and call the police. That's it. Now, if that officer do not lock them up for that assaulting you and strong arming you and force you from leaving, that's kidnapped. That is a kidnap charge in the state of California. When you stop someone from leaving, that's a kidnap charge in the state of California. We all know that. Everybody know that. Even law enforcement knows that. You cannot stop someone from leaving. That's a kidnap charge. They have to be locked up right then and there. And if they ain't supposed to have that gun on them and they ain't security guard, that's another charge on their asses. So listen carefully. Nowhere in the state of California, nowhere in the state of Los Angeles, California, can a security guard put their hands on you. They cannot stop you. All they can do is observe you. Call the police. That's it. Even in clubs, even in the Korean clubs in Koreatown, Chinese clubs in Chinatown, they cannot put their hands on you whatsoever. It's against the law. It's an assault. They cannot stop you. It's kidnap. They cannot do nothing to you. They cannot do nothing to you. And that's supposed to be in all states. That should be all over the United States. Security guard ain't got no fucking say so. They do not have no license to arrest or detain anyone. They do not have that authority whatsoever. I seen a security guard up in Los Angeles, man, pull a gun out on these guys, man, because they was parked. And they told them, you got to leave. You ain't got no authority to say you're going to trespass somebody. Who the fuck you think you is, man? You are not no cop. You are not no judge. You are nobody but a security guard. You have no say-so. And once they point that gun at you, that's attempted murder. You have them locked up for attempted murder. There's no ifs and no buts because they do not have the right to point no gun. It's just like the pigs. They ain't got no right, no law. There's no law that says they got the right to point a gun at you. There's no law on the books that says they got the right to point a gun at you. And even if it is, it's in violation of your constitutional rights, man. Nobody has a right to point a gun at anybody. Read your constitution, man. Read your constitution. Fuck your state constitution. Federal constitution overrides state constitution. It voids out state constitution. There are no ifs and no buts. All state constitutions are non-void. They are void because it's in a conflict with the original constitution. But no security guard has a right to stop you, question you, or anything in the state of California. Not in the state of California. Look it up. Look up the laws of the state of California for being a security guard and what rules and regulations they got to go by. And you'll see it right there on that website in Sacramento. Got to be licensed. Got to keep their license on them at all times. If they got a firearm, they got to go to training at all times. They got to be in training every other 6 months to get they firearm permit. They firearm permit because it's not a year no more. So every other 6 months in Sacramento. They got to have their PR permit, which is their baton permit. They got to have their mace permit. They got to have all of that on their possession. It's just like in the state of California. Give you another example. There was a ruling by the Superior Courts, and I looked up this case, and it's all over the United States, in every state too. It's a ruling. I don't care if you know about the warrant. I don't give a damn about none of that. I don't care. Well, I heard I got a warrant. What is it about? Blah. I don't give a damn about none of that because the Superior Court's already ruled that. When you get arrested, that officer has to have that warrant in their possession, and they have to read you that warrant. When you get arrested, they have to read you that warrant when you get arrested. There's no ifs and no buts about every court ruled it, from Kansas City cases, Washington, D.C. cases, Minnesota cases, Denver, Colorado cases, Los Angeles, California cases. There was a guy, he had a warrant. Beat the hell out of this cop. Case was overturned and thrown out. The cop was supposed to have that warrant in his possession, in his hand, and read that warrant to that individual of the charges. And do they have jurisdiction to lock that individual up? No ifs and no buts about it. That's the laws. Look it up. There's a case in Kansas City and in Los Angeles about that. The newest one is 2021. Was the newest case that the Superior Court ruled. They don't even give a damn if the cops know you or the deputy knows you or anything like that. They have to have that warrant in their hand. They got to read you the charges point blank. Point blank. Point blank. You know, and they stated too that we know that a lot of judges violate the constitutional rights. We know this. Now, these are coming from judges in the Superior Court. And they got to stop doing this because the United States, one judge wrote in his comment, the United States is not Russia, not Germany, not Pakistan. I mean, he named all kinds of different countries, right? This is supposed to be the United States. Our forefathers put out there the constitutional rights to protect us. Not only to protect the citizens, but also to protect the criminals. That's what our constitutional right is about. Our constitutional right does not give law enforcement or judges the power over the Constitution under no circumstances. The judge also stated, his name was Judge Walker or something like that, out of a Superior Court out of California. And his statement was, quote unquote, was that he stated that we got to understand as society that we all have constitutional rights. And once those rights are violated, we have the right to sue, we have the right to picket, we have the right to protest the government, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he just rolled out the whole thing. But one thing we do have a right is false incrimination, false imprisonment, false arrests. When the officers have to have the warrant in their possession at all times, when they arrest an individual and they say they got a warrant, they have to produce the warrant. There's no ifs and no buts about it, man. There's no ifs and no buts. They have to produce the warrant. The warrant has to be in that individual's hands to make that arrest, and that warrant has to be read to that individual. No ifs and no buts, you know. And I was reading up on that case too, man. And matter of fact, that's in one of my motions. That's in one of my motions, you know. And I found the Minnesota case on that and stuff. And it's funny how people just think, because you see, an arrest warrant carries no weight. You know, an arrest warrant does not carry no weight. What the prosecutor says does not carry no weight whatsoever. And that even states that in there too. That don't think that because you think a warrant is valid means that it's valid, because it's not. All warrants are invalid. All warrants are in violation of your constitutional rights. False imprisonment, false arrest. See, the one that they even state this in the case too, is that the one that is liable for the false arrest and false imprisonment is the officer that arrests you. They are liable by law. That's what the Superior Court ruled, man, that they are liable by law for false arrest and false imprisonment, false allegations. They are liable by law. See, they are liable by law. And people don't understand that. Y'all got to read your constitutional rights, man. Y'all got to start reading your constitutional rights, you know, the original constitutional rights. Judges cannot hear a case without several factors. And you have that right to ask that judge, and that judge can't. Everything has to stop, man. No matter what. The whole procedure's got to stop until that judge proves on record. You know, I always ask, is this on record? Is this on record? I always ask that. Always ask that, because you got that constitutional right. You know, everything has to be on record. Everything in the courtroom has to be on record. You know. Well, I had to let y'all know about what Zoom did. They saying they got all rights, copyrights, and authority and everything anytime you use Zoom. Even against the courts, they got all rights to the courts, man. The courts can't do nothing. They got the right to alter, change whatever they want from court records, from court Zoom. They got that right. And the United States courts can't do shit, because under the rules, section 10.4 of the new update of Zoom, the United States ain't got no say so. The only thing that the United States can do is stop using Zoom, which the courts got lazy. These judges really got lazy. They got really lazy. They don't want to go to court. So they said, well, we use Zoom. What about the constitutional rights, the privacy? Oh, the hell with them. The hell with them. The hell with them. These judges got lazy, man. These judges got fucking lazy, man. They getting paid to sit their asses at home. No United States emergency. No emergency whatsoever for them to be using Zoom. No emergency whatsoever. No national disaster. None of that plays in this here. You know, the courts have no right to violate anyone's privacy under any circumstances, you know. And so they say, well, they don't want cameras in the courts. But wait a minute, you got cameras in courts. Then I got the right to video record in the court, because you video record. There's cameras in every courtroom. There's cameras in every courtroom. Every courtroom in the United States, there's cameras. So I got the right to video what I'm doing in the courtroom. Not only do I got that constitutional right, but I also got the right under the Disability Act. I got the right to record in the courtroom. When you go to court, look up in the ceiling. You see cameras. Start using your common sense, people. Fight them with their own fucking laws, man. Because you're not going to tell me I don't got the right to record in this building when there's cameras all around this building, inside the door. As soon as you walk in the door, you're being recorded. As soon as you take your ass outside, you're being recorded. So you got the same right as they do. You got the same right. When these cops say, don't record me, you need my permission. I don't need your motherfucking permission. You didn't get my permission to record me driving. You didn't get my permission to record me with them recorders up there. I've seen a lot of people in different states cutting them shits down. You got every right. You got every right. It's just like this guy, he beat it a traffic ticket because they mailed him a ticket. Whoa, wait a minute. How you gonna turn around and say that I owe this money? This company's not even in the United States, number one. So I'm paying for a mail-in ticket from a camera that's not even operated or being company in the United States. That's the funny thing about it. How am I sending my money to another country that you got cameras that's being controlled from another country in the United States? So the United States turn around and say, well, China's doing this, China's doing that. We're doing the same fucking thing you claiming China's doing. Our own government is doing the same fucking thing that they blame on China. Our own government is doing the same thing to us. So stop blaming other countries, man. Look in the fucking mirror. Everywhere you go, you're being recorded. I didn't vote for that. I didn't vote for you to violate my privacy. I didn't vote for you to put cameras all over the state. I didn't vote for none of that. And where's this money coming from? You paying other countries to video record us. But you bitch about China? But yet you turn around and you going through our emails, censoring us, recording us, and you talk about China as a national security threat? No, we the national security threat. Our government is the national security threat. Because you're spying on us citizens of the United States, as you say. You're tracking us. You're violating our privacy. So don't talk about some other countries violating somebody's emails or something like that, because you're doing it to us.
You've got mail.
But you got so many stupid people, and like when they trying to take TikTok down and all of this, and I'm listening to this, and this one idiot, and this is a congressperson, this one idiot, well, how does the internet work? I mean, I know I'm not no rocket science when it comes to technology stuff, but come on, man, you a congressman and you talking about how the internet goes through? But every one of those fucking congressmen, every one of those congressmen trying to tear down TikTok, they got a big hell of a kickback from Facebook. Get rid of Facebook. Get rid of Instagram. I'm still fighting with Facebook and Instagram right now. They violated my Privacy Act. They gave my information out to somebody. And so they sent me this thing. And they said, well, you got to do this before this deadline. I don't give a fuck about that deadline. See, the ones that make those suits, people are so stupid. File your own suit against the companies. Don't go into no class action, because all you're getting is $7.50. The ones that get that money is those attorneys. Those attorneys get that money. You only get $7.70. That's all you get. So I told them, I said, what the hell with you? I'm not joining in with no class action lawsuit. I'm filing my own lawsuit against Instagram and all of them. You have no right. You did not have my authority to give out my information or anything like that. People got to understand, man, that our own government does the same thing to us Like what they blame China, North Korea, our own government does the same fucking thing to us. Stop thinking our government are not crooks, because they are all crooks. They are all murderers. They are all rapists, sex traffickers. Look at that one guy, Matt, whatever the hell his name is. He had under investigation, not one, not two, but 6 sexual assault charges. I believe 2 of them was rape. So how the hell he's still in Congress? So don't go after nobody else for rape and child molestation and sex trafficking when our own government is doing the same damn thing. Y'all people are hypocrites, man. Y'all straight fucking hypocrites. Y'all are hypocrites, man. Man, let me tell you, man, if I was ever governor, they wouldn't be now. First of all, they'll be afraid of me. They'll be so terrified of me because the laws that I put in will stand. Every person in that state will have free electricity because that's what it is. God, Mother Earth, put on this earth, gives us water. That is free. There will be no such thing as rent being $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month. Because if you didn't have a business because of the people, you wouldn't be making no money. And every business that goes out of business, and we find out that you got a business overseas, you ain't filing no bankruptcy in the United States, not in the state where I'm from. You ain't filing no bankruptcy. You're going to pay those people. That's like 401k was a big scam. But people didn't understand that, you know? Wake the fuck up, people, man. Wake up, man. See, these judges get kickbacks to do bankruptcy. But they forget about one important thing. When the judges grant bankruptcy, the judges are committing perjury and fraud. Every company in the United States that files for bankruptcy or closed down has been open overseas for years. For years. They got in China, man, the biggest Babies R Us and Toys R Us. They got in Korea, the biggest Baby R Us and Toys R Us. They got in London is the biggest one too. From Payless shoe stores to McDonald's, Burger Kings, all of that stuff is open overseas, been open overseas for years. The only difference about overseas and the United States is this here. The amount they get paid is less than $1 on some of those businesses, or maybe the highest is $3.75 the most. And those governments overseas let them tax-free for a certain amount of years, which they are stupid. And you know, in Korea, in London, and in China, you got so many different items from Kentucky Fried, what's served in Kentucky Fried. You got from, first of all, they give you gloves over there. That's number one. They give you gloves for your chicken. But you got different items. You got sushi on the menu. You got soup on the menu. Ramen noodles, which is from overseas. You got anything you could think of that's in that country, from fish and all of that, in all of the fast food restaurants, Burger Kings, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is what they give you over there. You got over 200 different flavors of M&Ms and peanuts, which is made in China. Coca-Cola, China. Pepsi, China. Lay's potato chips, China. Once the Lay's potato chips gets to this is how Lay's potato chips gets to the United States. They come in this huge box. Okay? They come in this huge box. The Lay's potato chips come in a huge box. And they're in this huge bag. Just one big, huge bag of Lay's potato chips. They go up to whatever state that is bagging them. That's when the rest of the chemicals is being used in the United States. The chemicals they use in the United States on the food is not allowed in China, not allowed to be used in London, not allowed to be used in Mexico, not allowed to be used in Korea, not allowed to be used in other countries. The Philippines and nowhere like that. Only the United States put these chemicals on the foods that we buy and we eat, from the potato chips to the candies and everything else. All of the chemicals they use are not allowed in other countries whatsoever. Whatsoever. Everything we buy is made overseas. Your potato chips, your Pepsi, your Coca-Cola, your Sprite, all of that shit comes from overseas. Your clothes, your Pampers, your baby food, your baby formula, all of that comes from overseas. You got this one baby formula when it was out. It was bottled and packaged in Mexico. And the same formula that was bagged and packaged in Mexico also comes from the Philippines. So you see, when these companies go out of business, they're not out of business because they're overseas. So what they want you to do is what these stupid people do, is go online. So what did they do? They said, you know what? We could get more money from these motherfuckers, man. Let's have Congress pass a bill. So if we sell this right here, which in this country it's only maybe $2-3 for this whole lady suit, 2-piece lady suit, maybe about $8 the most. We sell it for $110. And let's what congressman do we got in our pocket? Well, we got Ted Cruz. Okay, let's call him up. Hey, I'm gonna send you this bill I want y'all to pass. Okay? I want y'all to pass the internet bill of taxes. Okay? That's what I want y'all to pass. All right? We're the only country in the world that has an internet tax because of what you buy on the internet. We're the only country in the world that has an internet tax. We're the only country in the world because they got stupid people like you that want to go online and order shit instead of getting your fat, lazy asses out and going to the store. You see? Y'all the stupid ones. I want y'all to look in the mirror and call yourselves what y'all are, jackasses. Don't get mad at me because I'm telling the truth, because that's just what y'all are, jackasses. Y'all the stupidest living creatures in the United States. Y'all jackasses to these people. Oh, honey, look, it's Christmas time coming up. Let's order this right here. Okay, where's it coming from? Well, they say about 4 to 6 weeks, so that means it's coming from overseas. Everything you buy, everything that's shipped to you comes from overseas. I wouldn't give a damn what it is. From your dog food to all of that, everything comes from overseas. Everything comes from overseas. And y'all so stupid. Y'all bitch about now y'all ain't got no money. But wait, pretty soon, y'all ain't gonna have no fucking money too much longer because y'all sitting back, y'all asleep. Y'all care more about $200 and $300 pair of sneakers and what this person got and this person don't have, and your videos and all of that shit, instead of seeing the real picture. So don't come crying. Nah, y'all gotta don't start crying because you lost all your rights. You did it to yourselves, man. Because you're not fighting for your rights. You are not fighting for your rights, man. You are a slave. You are not fighting for your rights. Slavery is the legalist thing in the United States right now. They say they got rid of slavery, but it's not true. Fuck what that Constitution, right, says. As long as they can lock your ass up, you under slavery. As long as they can keep you poor, you're under slavery. You so-called American people, you are so stupid. You don't even know the big pictures there, man. That's how stupid you are. That's how stupid you people really are in America. You are really stupid. Damn, every fucking time, man. I'm getting sick and sick. Y'all are really stupid. I'm supposed to go in for heart surgery. I had to cancel it. I had a fever. Now I gotta go in for surgery on my leg when in 2020 when I got thrown down the stairs and stomped. That's why I've been losing my balance because my knee has been messed up. And nothing happened to her. You know? But oh well. Yeah. Stop saying America, make America great. You want to make America great? Get your ass out of the country. That's what you do. All you racist white people, go back to your ancestors from Europe. That's where y'all from. That's where y'all from. Europe. Y'all not from the United States. Y'all from Europe. You know. And I said it last year, and I say it again, man. We losing. We got to stop letting this happen, man, and we got to start fighting for our rights. We got to stop putting these crooked judges, racist judges, and pigs and cops and deputies and sheriffs out of business, man. They got to start being behind bars where they belong, you know. And the worst ones are the blacks, especially the black women. Them two are the worstest ones, man. You know, I was recording the other day, and a guy come up to me and said, "Man, what are you doing?" So what the fuck you think I'm doing? What do it look like I'm doing to you, man? What do you think I'm doing? Well, I got a call. Prove me. Prove it. Show me the call you got. I got that right. Because when we go to court, I will be filing a motion suppressive evidence. I got that right. Show me the evidence and show me the call log that you got. Show me the call log that you got. No, you stopped us because of our nationality. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. You don't come up on me with that bullshit. No? Know your rights, man. We got... Y'all people need to wake the hell up, man. Y'all really do, because y'all slept. Y'all sleeping, and y'all still sleeping. You know, so don't get mad when your mama or your sister or your brother get killed by these fools, because you're not fighting. You're not fighting for your rights, man. You are not fighting for your constitutional rights, man. And that's what you have to do. And the news, you know, it cracks me up about all news stations. They turn around, they say, well, yeah, this black man got killed by an officer. Those two black cops had no right to kill that white boy. They had no right to shoot that white boy. They need to be fired. They need to be put to death. That's the news for you. They say riot for blacks, but I'll never forget when these idiots riot about some game they had up in London. Well, they just expressing their feelings because they white people. Wait a minute, it's the same fucking thing that they doing over here. The same fucking thing. They rioting and rioting. There's no difference. There's no difference. There's no difference. News people are racist motherfuckers too. They know ifs and no buts. I never forget this one black lady on the news. I forgot her name. She was talking shit about she's putting her own race down, man. And I don't even see how the hell she can even be living in the same neighborhood, dude. I really can't. I don't understand that. Anytime you put down your own race and stuff and you hate your own race, then you need to go ahead and move into the white neighborhoods and see how you get protected there. See what happens to you there then, you know? And I don't care if your husband white, green, purple, yellow, you're going to get pulled over. Yeah, you're going to get pulled over. You need the same thing happen to you, you know? That's so funny how we are so fucked up. We let these people do it to us. You know, we let them do it to us. And yet they the biggest gangs out there, man. The law enforcement is the biggest gangs out there. Look at that in LA, man. Check this out, man. You know how many deputies got locked up for gang affiliation, contract killings, and everything like that, man? And it's going to continue more until we stop it. We stop this bullshit, man. Because they're the criminals. They are the ones that's supposed to be behind bars. They're the ones that's supposed to be on death row. They're the ones that's supposed to be doing life. You know? They are the ones. And it wasn't about, let's get one thing clear here right now about the three-strike law. It was already on the books in every state in the United States called the Criminal Habitual Act. That was a life sentence. So they used the three-strike law for only one reason. Behind the nationality. That's it. Legalized slave. That's it. If prisoners wake up and stop letting these motherfuckers profit from them in prison, look how quick the economy will stop. You know? Look how quick the economy will stop. You know? And that's the only reason why three-strike law came out. Is for Africans, Spanish, and as they say, pure white trash. That's why the three-strike laws went in effect. It's for those reasons there, and that's legalized slavery. That's it. No other reason, no three-strike laws shouldn't even been never put on the books. But they was losing prisoners. In other words, more prisoners were getting out than bringing in for their profit. This one idiot, and I'll call him that because he did not keep his word when he said he's going to demolish three strikes. I wouldn't give a damn about nobody but one thing. Constitutional rights. And the people. I wouldn't give a damn what color you is, what you are, black, green, purple, gay, lesbian. Don't give a damn. Once a law enforcement officer kills you, he will not be able to bail us out of jail on a murder charge. He'll be held, no ifs and no buts. Because there's nothing in the Constitution that says he got the right to bail on a murder. No circumstances. His ass will sit in jail. No law enforcement, no judge, no DA. You are charged, you are charged. Taxpayers are not paying for your legal fees. And that's the bottom line. Taxpayers will not be paying your legal fees. You'll be paying that shit for yourself. All immunity is gone from every law enforcement, every judge, every prosecutor. Because if you had the person the right way, you wouldn't need immunity. But you didn't think about that, huh? If you had a person the right way, you would not need immunity. You would not need immunity if you had the person the right way. Everybody on the face of this earth lies. The only thing that's on the face of this earth that is pure is nature and animals. That is it. Nature and animals. That is it. Every human being on the face of this earth lies. Police, pigs, judges, DAs are trained to lie. They are trained to commit perjury. So that gives us the right to commit perjury. That gives us a right to lie. Because it does not say nowhere in the Constitution that one race is better than the other race. It says in the Constitution, all men are created equal. So your word is not better than my word. There's nothing in the Constitution that says your word is better than my word. Nowhere in the Constitution. I couldn't find it nowhere. I couldn't find it in all the way up to 18 to 23 to 250 in the Constitution. I couldn't find it nowhere in the Constitution whatsoever. It just says judges, prosecutors, DAs, pigs, cops, sheriffs, deputies' words are more believable and true than a regular citizen. Couldn't find it nowhere in the Constitution. You got to go by their words. Couldn't find it nowhere in the Constitution. A lot of states now is getting rid of that immunity on all law enforcement, prosecutors, and judges. They're getting rid of that, and that's good. Now California got to follow. Minnesota got to follow. That's what they got to do. They got to go by what it says in the Constitution. They got to go by their own laws, man. See, that's how you get them for perjury. See, you shouldn't have to. On one thing should be proven. That's it. You caught the person lie, charge him with perjury. That's it. That's it. That's the law. But in Minnesota, the judges love perjury. The judges love the prosecutor filing false charges, falsifying police reports. The judge loves this. Judges love shit like that in Minnesota. Oh my God, judges in Minnesota love perjury. But you know what's so funny? I went in front of this one judge and I kept saying, where do I know this son of a bitch from, man? Where do I know this judge from? I've seen this judge somewhere before. Where? I'm thinking it, and then it came to me. It came to me. I remember this judge from Faribault. Yeah, it hit me, and I'm like, oh my God. That's where he went to. He became a judge. Wow. Oh my God. I remember this guy from Faribault. I've seen him. We have talked before and everything. I remember this. So it's a conflict of interest. And so they keep bringing different judges over here. And every time I'm ready to wait a minute. You got authority, dude? You got, I can't even get in the courtroom to ask this, I don't give consent to this, man. I do not consent to these procedures, man. I got the right to know who is bringing these charges up on me, so I got the right to sue them. I do not consent to these procedures. Do you have jurisdiction? But they don't, because they're coming from another county. They come from another county, so they don't have jurisdiction. They do not have jurisdiction. And it's funny. And anyway, I'm having it moved out of there because it's a racist courthouse. Every time I had to file something, I was told by the clerk, you can't file this without the judge's approval. I don't need no motherfucking judge's approval to file nothing. Constitutional rights don't say that. Constitutional rights says I got the right to sue. That's what the Constitutional right says. I got the right to sue and bring my grief up against any government of the United States. I have that constitutional right. All laws, rules, and regulations are for government employees. I got the right to have my lawsuit served by the deputies, by the marshals, without no fee. I got that constitutional right. Your rules and regulations are for you. The United States already ruled that. The United States courts already ruled. Superior courts are all rules, regulations, and penal codes are for government employees. It doesn't say nothing in the Constitution that I got to be charged to file. No, it says I have the right to sue. You violated my constitutional rights from preventing me. You deprived me of my life and liberty and happiness. So I filed a case. Well, I filed a motion, and I put in the motion that I'm suing them. So they were fully aware for violating my constitutional rights. They were fully aware of the case that I put down there, that everything that I present to the clerk of the court has to file it right then and there. My papers do not sit and wait until you ask a judge if I can file this. No, you're in violation of so many case laws, man, that the United States Superior Court already ruled. Once you hand those papers to that clerk, all the thing that clerk can do is shut their mouth up and file those documents and hand you copies. They cannot charge you for copies and none of that. They cannot do that. Once you hand that clerk those papers got to be filed and a copy given to you, point blank, easiest part. Like I filed that motion. I'm not doing no Zoom. I'm not doing Zoom. All right, and then you're going to say, if you do not appear for Zoom, you'll be arrested? That's a terrorist threat. That is a terrorist. Let me see what it says about. Let's see what it says in the Constitution of Rights about that. What does it say in the Constitution of Rights if you've been arrested? 1776. $1776. Oh man, I gotta download that? Oh hell no, I don't need to download that. All right, 1776, Virginia. Rights of 1977, 1976, written by George Madison. Okay, all men are naturally created free and independent. Okay, under the right, every person in the United States has the right to a trial of their peers. Okay, no one can be held in the United States under any charges whatsoever. All rules and regulations are for society, for government officials. All right. It's formulated right in the Constitution that protects against unlawful and imprisonment. It's a Latino word meaning show me the body, show me the corpse. See, check that out. It's a Latino meaning show me the body, habeas corpus. Okay? Freedom against excessive force, incrimination, and all that. It says it right there in the Constitution of Rights of 1776, man. You have the right to a fair and partial jury. You have a right to a jury of your peers. So I don't drink, I don't mess with drugs, never did, never will. Drink coffee, so they got to drink coffee. They got to know how to cook. So everything that I know, I have a right to the same jury of my peers. You know, I wouldn't want no women on my jury. Nah, I want all guys on my jury. See, and it's freedom, man. It's straight. People got to read their constitutional rights, man. 1787, it says, a person charged in a state with treason, felony, or other crimes shall have the same rights as any other jurisdiction and justice. It's right there, man. In the Constitution of 1787. I don't want to sign up. Gotta read your Constitution. You cannot be held for any infamous crime whatsoever. Bail cannot even be put up on you. See, they violate the Constitution. You got to be let free. They violate the Constitution. They violate the Constitution, and that's what you got to go by, what the Constitution of Rights says. 1776 to 1787, all the way down. You got to go what the Constitution of Rights says. You know, you got to go by what the Constitution of Rights says. Fuck what they say. Congress shall make no laws to infringe on the freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of the people. Congress shall make no laws to infringe to infringe. To infringe. Congress shall make no laws to infringe. The word infringe, what does that mean?
According to Merriam-Webster, to fail to obey or act in agreement with, violate, infringe a treaty. 2. Encroach sense 1.
Says for itself. They have to obey the constitutional rights. They cannot infringe on our freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of expression. They cannot infringe on that. They cannot infringe on the Second Amendment, to bear arms and blase, blase. They cannot infringe on none of that, man. On none of that. On none of that. They have to obey what the Constitution, what the original Constitution says. They have to obey by those laws. You know? Start reading the Constitution, man, people. Peace out, man. I gotta go take my medicine. I'm not feeling well.